Hello, my loves. My name is Mel Threets, and this is Live Again, where we talk about topics to help you live your ideal reality. Today, you guys, we will be talking about how to reconnect with yourself. So, without further ado, let's get into today's video. Reconnecting with yourself is all about understanding where you are right now. It starts with really being honest with yourself about what season of your life you're actually in. Not the season that you want to be in or where you want to be, but where you currently are. Actually checking in with yourself, being present with your current self. If you're not happy, if you're not okay, those things are okay. And being okay with those things and understanding that, hey, this season of my life is not a season that I'm most productive. This season of my life is not a season that I am at the top of my game, that I am thriving in the ways that I want to be thriving. That doesn't make me less deserving, less worthy, or anything of the sort, but this is just that season of my life right now. So what can I do to get myself back to a space where I can be okay with where I am and move in the direction that I want to go in? But it starts with actually understanding where you are, actually doing that check-in, whether that's through journaling, whether that's through meditation, whether that's through, honestly, letting yourself cry it out. I know for me, I can kind of detach myself from a lot of things that I may need to deal with. I can do them for the sake of being productive or feeling like they're an inconvenience at the time. And I have learned the damage that has done not only to my present life, but honestly to the version of me that I've built currently. And understanding that, like, I still have a lot of repressed feelings and I still have a lot of things that I'm dealing with and healing from that I may have thought, oh yeah, I'm over it, because I just pushed it to the back of my mind. I just pushed it away of like, I don't need that right now. And then coming to a space of asking myself, well, why don't I feel connected with myself? Why don't I feel like I am a safe space for me? The only way that I can be a safe space for myself is actually understanding how I became an unsafe space for myself. And the first thing was understanding that I mentally checked out. I told myself that I wasn't allowed to feel certain things or allowed to be in certain spaces because it wasn't productive. It wasn't, valid. I didn't need to be there. There were more important things to worry about. I allowed myself to ignore what I was feeling and what I was dealing with in order to, focus on productivity and focus on, just getting stuff done. Life keeps going. So it's like, I don't have time to be here and be sad and this, that, and the third. No, it's not about that. Reconnecting with yourself and understanding where you are is not about dwelling in that space. It's about recognizing that space, acknowledging that space, because without acknowledging the space that you're in, you won't be able to grow from it because you don't even know where you are. You can be in the space where you're like, there is no reason for me to be sad. There is no reason for me to be depressed. Everything in my life is going perfectly fine right now. But you have so much within you that has either been repressed, that hasn't been dealt with, things when it comes to your self-worth, self-esteem, your character, the things that have happened around you in your life. You just never know what you're dealing with until you actually do that check-in. So it is so important to really understand where you are currently in your life, what season of your life that you're actually in, and love yourself, validate that experience. It's okay for you not to be okay. It is okay for you not to be where you want to be. It's okay for you not to be in the space that, isn't the most productive, isn't the most up there. Like, me, this is the first time in a couple of months that I've actually put out a video, because I haven't been in a space that is most productive, that has been, a place of thriving for me. I've been dealing with serious burnout, with depression, and a lot of other things that have been taking my energy and taking my space. And so I took time to separate myself from my content in order to focus on those things. And I'm now getting myself back to a better place, and I'm able to give more energy to my content. But I had to check in with myself and be honest with myself about where I actually was. It starts with you. really checking in with you, where your heart is, where your mind, body, soul, spirit is. Something in there is not okay, and something in there needs to be acknowledged and touched. Like, hey, I'm here. I'm sorry I wasn't seeing you before, but I see you now, and I'm here for you now. And that leads me into my second point. You do not need to be in your most productive space. You do not need to be your best self right now. You are meant to be where you are. Everything happens in divine timing. I am a firm believer of that in everything. You are meant to be where you are. If you're going through a hard time, if you're dealing with a lot of things on your plate right now, it feels like life is just not giving you a break, I need you to understand there is nowhere else that you are supposed to be besides where you are right now. It is okay to cry about it. It's okay to be sad about it. It's okay to rot in your bed for days about it. I'm not saying stay there forever. I'm not saying make it an excuse for you not to get better. But allowing yourself to feel what you feel, allowing yourself to be where you are, because you are deserving of being in that space. A lot of times we feel like we need to, when we start seeing signs of depression and, seeing signs of, not being in an okay space and not being in the most productive space, we jump onto the self-help train, which is a big problem that I have with the self-help train. Is a lot of it is fluff. A lot of it is fluff. A lot of times people come on here and they tell you, you just need to believe that you're worthy. You just need to believe that you are, the best version of yourself. You need to trick your brain into understanding that. It starts with you actually acknowledging the space that you're in. You can't put yourself in a space that you've never been in and expect yourself to thrive there. You are not used to being in a space of understanding who you are. You are not used to being in a space of truly being comfortable and connected with who you are. If you were, you wouldn't be watching this video, to be honest with you. But with you not being used to being in a space of you actually being your best self, adapting those habits now is going to be a big challenge unless you take that first step of actually acknowledging and believing that you are deserving. You have to truly say, it is okay for me not to be okay. No, I am not okay, and that is okay. You have to take that first step. Your self-worth is not attached to how much you can get done in a day. Your self-worth is not attached to how much you succeed in life. I really want you to ask yourself, what would you be doing if you didn't have anything else to worry about? If there was nothing else on your plate, you didn't have bills, you didn't have the stressors of life, quite literally, you had no worries, no cares in the world, what would you be doing? And how can you actually implement those things into your life? Those are the ways that you're actually going to connect with who you are. Not the big goals, not the, oh, this is what my career would be if, I wasn't at my crappy job. No, I mean, think about when you were a toddler. Think about when you were a kid. Think about the things that you actually enjoy doing. When you came home from school, you weren't worried about that homework. You were worried about that video game. You were worried about playing dolls. You were worried about going outside to play. You were worried about having fun, enjoying yourself, enjoying experiencing whatever it was to experience that wasn't homework. It had nothing to do with productivity. It had nothing to do with what you got done that day. Your homework was gonna get done, but you might have snuck outside and had fun before you got that homework done. I know I did. I know I was that kid. Truly, I really want you to ask yourself, what would you be doing if productivity no longer existed? If productivity was not a thing? If accomplishing something wasn't a thing? What would you do leisurely? Would you read a book? Would you go outside, enjoy nature? Would you go out somewhere? Would you stay and watch rom-coms all night? What would you be doing right now if you didn't have any responsibilities? Truly, I need you to ask yourself that. And that leads me into my last and final tip, which is to find balance. Y'all, the only way that you are going to actually be able to reconnect with yourself is you have to put in the work for you. You can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna think my way into loving myself. Take it from someone who's tried to do it. Trust and believe, I tend to intellectualize my feelings a lot. It is something that I'm working on, but trust and believe, you can't think yourself into self-love. You can't think yourself into self-worth. You can't think yourself into reconnection. The only way that you're gonna build a connection with yourself and actually have a relationship with yourself is for you to put in the work. Just like a regular relationship requires work and commitment, and for you to show up and to be that person for that other person, you have to be that person for you. What ways can you implement really small, minuscule things? I am all about implementing small, very, very, very minute things. As someone who also has a busy schedule, and quite literally all I want to do when I get home is go to sleep, and all I want to do when I wake up in the morning is just go to work and, you know, just start my day, get my day started. You have to make a conscious effort every day, whether that's you doing your daily check-ins, whether that's you implementing one thing a day. And for me, I started using tiers. So I have my high maintenance thing. That will be things that require more effort that I enjoy doing, whether that's painting, whether that's making content, things I need to actually set up, do, think about, things of the sort. That will be at my top tier. Then I have my middle tier. My middle tier is more things like, you know, that might require a little bit of effort, but not, you know, it's not like too much effort. That might be like my self-care things. That might be a self-maintenance day. That might be, you know, something of the sort like that. And then I have my low maintenance thing, whether that's reading a book, whether that's watching a rom-com, watching anime, playing a game, something quite literally mindless for me to do. Honestly, set tiers for yourself. That is one thing that has really helped me, because I think that before, I'm a person that has a bunch of hobbies. So I was like, I have all these hobbies, but I don't feel like doing any of them. And all I was thinking about were the top tier hobbies, and not the actual hobbies that, like, okay, if I'm not in the space, the energy to really, you know, do much right now, I can read a book and enjoy it. I enjoy reading. I love reading. I love reading. Reading is like a really big pastime for me. I can sit and read a book for hours on end without quite literally leaving my room. I love playing video games, you know, things of that nature. Making tiers for yourself, and finding things that are quite literally the smallest, minute things that you can include in your day, and you can spend maybe an hour doing it, maybe 30 minutes doing it, maybe 15 minutes doing it. It doesn't take anything for you to check in with yourself and take a step back. Take a deep breath. Where am I right now? What am I feeling right now emotionally? What am I feeling right now physically? That can be journaling, that can be meditating, taking that time to check in with yourself and saying, what do I actually need from myself today? Do I need a little bit of TLC? I need to, you know, do some beauty maintenance, this, that, and the third. Or do I just need to do the most minuscule thing and just read a book today? Honestly, do I just need to go to sleep? That is something that is on my list, because I am a person that loves to do things, and sometimes all I want to do is go to sleep. So I go to sleep, and I wake up refreshed knowing that I made the decision to go to sleep, and not that the decision, I felt like it was brought upon me of like, oh, I just fell asleep and I couldn't do anything I enjoyed today. I, you know, didn't make the conscious effort to reconnect with myself today. And you're gonna have those days, like, that's normal. But as long as you attempt to make the conscious effort to really take the time to connect with you, you'll be okay. Like, it is, I promise you, the smallest thing, the smallest step is always going to create the biggest results. It has been something that has really been helping me and really been recharging me in the ways that I didn't even know I needed. Like, trust and believe, my life has been taking a toll, y'all. I'm not even gonna hold you, but I am grateful for, you know, I am grateful that I took that step back to actually connect with myself and understand where I was and understand what I needed, so that I could make the necessary changes in my life to put myself in a better position. Finding little ways to reconnect with myself has been rewarding. And even though I'm not in the space of where I want to be, I know that I'm not doing the best right now, but I am doing my best, and that's what matters. So I want to thank you guys again for tuning into today's video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And let me know one thing that y'all want to implement into your schedule. One way that you guys can reconnect with yourself down below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.